Albert Sporting Goods is here to outfit your team, both on and off the field. Since 1980, Albert Sporting Goods has serviced schools, clubs, and businesses throughout Ohio. For all of your uniform, spirit wear, and equipment needs, make it Albert Sporting Goods. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
St. Mary's Legion Post 323, veterans working for veterans and the future of our country. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 supports veterans programs such as Gifts for Yanks, Support the Troops, Comfort Warriors, Blood Donor, POW MIA programs, as well as children and youth programs. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 also donates thousands of dollars each year to local summer programs such as Boys State, Girls State, Scholarships in Education, Boy Scouts, Oratorical, and Shooting Sports. St. Mary's Legion Post 323, remembering the past, living the present, and working for the future.
Providing insurance services since 1953, the R.J. Burke Insurance Agency is here to help with your home, auto, business, and life insurance needs. Being an independent insurance agency representing many fine companies and located at 121 North Wayne Street in St. Mary's, contact Joe Burke or Dan Burke for a no-obligation quote today.
Did you know teen drivers represent the highest risk age group involved in automobile accidents? Because of this, an in-person teen driver education program is extremely important, and Capabilities Driving School is here to help. Capabilities now administers the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicle Driving Test for our students and the general public to obtain their driving licenses. Call us today at 419-394-0003, extension 1300, to enroll and learn more about Capabilities Driving School services.
At Chef Auto Sales in St. Mary's, we don't play any of those pricing games. Our quality vehicles are priced at or below market value, and our no-pressure friendly staff is here to help you. So before you buy, give us a try. Come see me, Aaron Hyde, the car guy at Chef Auto Sales.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to Grand Lake Health Systems Court and Memorial High School. We are Rider Nation Station, and we are here this evening to kick off the 2022-2023, the 23 portion of the girls basketball season. Here in the broadcast booth, we are giving a nod to the Pointer Sisters tonight. The We Are Family. We have the We Are the J Family broadcast crew tonight, and we're here to bring you a little Western Buckeye League action. We have a lot to unpack tonight, so we're going to jump right in and talk about the Ottawa Glandorf Titans, the visiting Ottawa Glandorf Titans, and I'll just say this to start off with, guys, that they have become the gold standard in the Western Buckeye League.
Yeah, being a history and political science major, I'm going to say that the Ottawa Glandorf Titans have, under Troy Yant, have built basically a little bit of a WBL dynasty. They're kind of the queens of the WBL right now. In WBL history, there have been a couple teams who created dynasty-level programs where they had sustained excellence and dominance. One of them would have been at the inception of the WBL, the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays, who used to be a WBL team, won 6 consecutive titles in the late 70s and early 80s. Throughout the mid-80s to the early 90s, the Bath Wildcats won over 90% of their games and multiple titles. This would be, under Troy Yant, I think OG is now probably the third dynasty that's been created in WBL history. Troy Yant, since 2016, they have won 6 of the 7 WBL titles. They also have 6 of the 7 Players of the Year during that period of time. So I think Troy Yant and the Titans come to town tonight as a little bit of a dynasty in the WBL historically. So the Riders have their work cut out for them. I'm going to turn it over to Derek J., who's going to talk a little bit about how the Titans are doing this year.
Yeah, Mike mentioned, the Players of the Year, and will OG have another Player of the Year this year? It's certainly possible, but it's a little more of a balanced effort from them this year. They don't have a single player averaging in double digits. on the season. Got 4 girls right around 9 points a game with Kaylin Grothaus, Katie Kaufman, Carson Erford, and Chloe Glenn. And, Chloe Glenn's kind of been the one expected to be the main player, but has battled some injuries, coming off an ACL tear last year, had some injuries early this year, so we'll kind of see what she's going to bring to the table tonight. Might have some limited minutes and is expected not to start, according to Coach Troy Yant. But though they might not have the individual talent that they have had in the past, they kind of make up for that with some team offense and maybe more so team defense. They're averaging 12 steals a game. They force a lot of turnovers. In their last 2 games, they forced 20 turnovers and then 16 turnovers. So, they like to get out pressure. You make you really uncomfortable when you're trying to run your offense. They're not, as I mentioned, not a particularly great offensive team, averaging just a little under 56 points a game, but they're holding their opponents to under 40 points a game. So definitely a defensive effort from Coach Yant. And, as the Riders kind of come into this game, have had some offensive struggles. So, it's kind of an area that they need to make improvements on, and not an easy game necessarily to try to make those improvements tonight.
Yes, the Titans come in at 9-2, 3-0 in the WBL, and so really, anytime you come in undefeated, you look at the game and say, hey, this is a must-win as far as the WBL title chase is for both teams, really. And I don't want to sell the Riders short, because in these last 4 years, yes, the Titans have been the dominant team, but the Riders have been knocking at the door. The Kendall Derringer, Noe Ruane Riders for the last 4 years have been right there on the cusp of breaking in to the WBL championship arena. And so, I think it's not a far stretch to say that the Riders are definitely in the mix here. However, that being said, the Riders come into tonight's game on a 2-game losing streak. They won at Bell Fountain on December 20th, got a 43-38 victory on that night, but then went to the New Bremen tournament, and the tournament was not kind to the Riders. They lost 31-28 to Miami East, did not have a player break into double figures in that game, and then lost to New Bremen in the New Bremen tournament 42-37. So I would say that the Riders may be trending down a little bit, got a little time off for the break, and so hopefully they can come in renewed, refreshed, and ready to do battle in this WBL Classic here.
The last several games, they've really, really struggled to score. Throughout the year, they haven't been a high-scoring team, but boy, the last about 3 games, they've struggled to get into the 30s. Hesse and Cora Rabel and Morgan Hesse, the 2 leading scorers, both were averaging around 6 points a game over this stretch. So they've kind of been in a little bit of a scoring slump. Hopefully, tonight they can snap out of that and start to generate some offense.
And even in that New Bremen loss, the Riders missed a bunch of free throws and lost by 5, but had a chance to win that game if they'd have hit some free throws. We are going to stop while we play the national anthem, and then resume discussing tonight's contest.
Mark your calendars for Memorial High School's performance of Anastasia, the musical, March 31st to April 1st. Inspired by the 20th century Fox motion picture, this dazzling show transports its audience from the Russian Empire to 1920s Paris. As a brave young woman enlists the help of a charismatic ensemble cast to reconnect with her past in search of home, love, and family. Follow the St. Mary's Memorial High School Drama Club on Facebook for more information.
Colder weather is just around the corner, and you want to make sure your family's vehicle is tuned up and ready to go. Rabel's Auto Service has been voted the best auto repair center in St. Mary's the last 3 years. And did you know they will pick up and deliver your vehicle for free? Give Rabel's Auto Service a call at 419-394-1624 or stop in and see Jeremy at 1610 Salina Road in St. Marys. Rabel's Auto Service in St. Marys. Give them a call today.
Quite a national anthem. That anthem was performed by Ella Glass, Memorial High School student. I'm sure Dad Kevin Glass is quite proud of that performance.
Excellent job. Excellent job. And so as we get ready for the starting lineups here, we'll kind of finish up with the Riders. St. Marys comes into tonight's game 8-4, but still has that unblemished WBL record. And so, you know, what happened in the 2022 portion of the season, we can kind of put that behind us and start fresh. And again, OG's the team you got to beat. And obviously it's not selling any of the other teams short, but, you know, we still have a full slate of WBL teams to play. But things start and finish with OG, so tonight is kind of a must-win for the Riders.
Clearly OG and Bath were the prohibitive favorites. The Vegas odds would be heavily in the favor of those two teams. But, hey, the Riders are 3-0, the Titans are 3-0. Anything can happen. You get a chance to play them on your home court, you knock off the Titans, and suddenly you're in the driver's seat for the Western Buckeye League.
Like the Riders, the Titans have not played since the 29th, December 29th. So had a little time off, get the legs built up or rested, and, you know, maybe put in a few new twists into the offense, something that teams haven't been able to scout during the first half of the season. So, you know, it'll be interesting for both teams just to see what they come out with to start out the game.
It'll be interesting to see. Will we see the Riders that looked that played at New Bremen Classic and lost 2 in a row and really struggled to score, or will we see the Riders who won 8 in a row in the middle of the season? The Riders have been very streaky this year. They won the first 2, lost the first 2, won the next 8, and now have lost 2. So it'll be interesting to see which Lady Riders show up tonight. Do they
do that trend and suddenly rifle off eight wins in a row after those 2 losses?
I think the key for me is the 2 seniors, Cora Rabel and Morgan Hesse. They have been in a real kind of a scoring slump, shooting slump, both of them. And can they get out of that slump tonight and start scoring some points?
The Titans come into tonight with a bit of size, which has been traditionally something that the Riders have struggled with. Katie Kaufman, 6'1", and Caitlin Kimmett, 5'10", so they do have a little size.
Chloe Glenn will probably be the first girl off the bench. She's about 6'1" or 2". So
and
they are huge compared to us.
The Titans grab the Laura Yelton State Farm tip-off and get the first possession of the night. Looks like the Riders are in a 2-3, decided not to try to match up man-wise. And Caitlin Kim with a nice little runner sort of drive from baseline to get the Titans on the American Legion scoreboard, first play of the game.
Riders start running a little flex action here on offense.
And that's been something new. That's new to the Rider offense. Morgan Hesse.
I'm guessing John Burke's trying the flex, trying to get some easier shots for his girls. Let the offense try to create some shots.
And Cora Rabel able to take advantage of that offensive rebound to get the Riders on the American Legion scoreboard. We talked about in the pregame having a little twist to the offense, and right away we see that with the Rough Riders. Put in the flex and said, hey, we're gonna give a different look. OG comes out in a man.
Typically, the flex offense gives you a little bit shorter shots. It's an offense designed to give you 15-footers. The Riders have really struggled shooting the three in the last several games, so I'm wondering if the flex is Coach Burke's attempt to try to get some more close-range, makeable shots for his ladies.
And Ella Jacobs, nice drive, pulled up with a bucket, and again, right back at us. Kaylin Grothaus with a 2.
Titans in a straight man-to-man press.
Would have watched a 10-second call coming here.
All right, well, that was close. That had to be 9.5. They're doing a little run and jump occasionally when they get us in the corners. Lady Riders need to stay off the sidelines so they don't get trapped like just happened there.
And Coach Burke calls a quick 30-second to save that possession, and we will stay right here and talk about that.
Another thing about the flex offense not mentioned earlier is it's kind of designed to grind things down a little bit. And as I mentioned in pregame, OG forces a lot of turnovers, over 12 steals a game as a team. And so maybe trying to shorten possessions a little bit, wear them out so that they're not quite as active on defense, make them kind of go through the monotony of the flex. And the other thing, as the timeout showed there, bringing the ball screen is just an easy opportunity to trap.
Right,
and
right.
You're bringing the trap there for them, and it makes it a little tougher on you offensively when they can easily trap like that.
Oh, boy.
That was
really close.
Yeah.
That was very close to an over and back. You got to wait till the girl gets in the back court before you inbound it.
Good thing Cora was hustling to
That's the
get back there.
inbounder's fault.
Yeah.
Completely on the inbounder.
Coach Yant probably had not prepared for the flex, as it was not something that had been seen on film.
Number 34, Katie Kaufman, is a very impressive-looking athlete. Comes from a long line of Kaufman basketball players at OG. Her older sister, Erin, won a couple of WBL Player of the Year awards and is now playing for Malone College in Canton, Ohio, playing Division II basketball, scholarship basketball. So Kaufman's come from a long line of players.
And so does Carson Erfurt.
Yep.
She's got a little family history as well. Older sister won League Player of the Year a couple years ago as well.
And she's playing now as a true freshman. It's not easy to play at OG as a true freshman with their talent.
And Erfurt misfires on that 3. Ella Jacobs doing a nice job of chasing those rebounds down. And Reese Rabel hits our first Fowler TV 3-pointer of the night.
That's a good sign for the Riders. Reese has struggled a little bit the last couple games. Percentage-wise, didn't shoot a great percentage. It always feels good to get the first one down. You forget about those shooting slumps really quick when you make the first one.
Sure do. And Kaylin Grothaus gets the offensive board for 2, and the offensive boards have been something that have plagued both the girls and the boys programs at St. Mary's. I'm kind of liking the shot selection though here for the Riders in this early going.
A little fracas on the court. A couple Riders get down and earn the jump ball. It'll be Rider possession on the jump. John Burke's got to be very happy with the start. 4 minutes in, 7-6. teams generating good shots.
But both teams doing a fair amount of subbing here early on. For the Riders, Ashley Nuss comes into the game, giving Ella Jacobs a quick blow. I can't imagine that Ella will probably sit out very long. She's been a mainstay on the rebounding. And Reagan Elmeyer, nice feed to Morgan Hesse for
That's a
quick bucket.
Great cut to the basket by Morgan Hesse. The girl guarding Morgan is Chloe Glenn, who has had multiple knee surgeries, missed almost the entire volleyball season, has only played 5 games in basketball.
And missed the prior game.
Missed the last game. So I'm sure she has some mobility issues with a bad knee. So Morgan Hesse on a pick and roll is a good move.
Morgan Hesse may have gotten fouled there. Cora Rabel doing something that she's done very well throughout the season, really doing a nice job of penetrating and creating shots for others. Hesse missing that elbow shot. Referees seem to be letting them things get pretty physical. And Aldrich misses a point blanker.
Riders have a decided speed advantage, team speed advantage. Looking up court and throwing long, it could be something that could really pay off for them.
Right. And especially because the Titans are doing, they're very aggressively going after offensive boards.
Yep. They're bigger, taller, and heavier than us.
They have a good size.
So if we do get a rebound, outletting quick and getting it down the court might be a real good way of attacking Ottawa Glandorf.
Nice pass.
And Lily Hasselman, very, very nice left-handed pass there to get the assist. And the Titans bring the gap to 11-8 on the American Legion scoreboard.
Referee's whistle does work.
It did.
Foul's called.
At both ends of the court, thought that there have been several things that they've kind of let go. And
a lot of contact on the dribbles and, on the shot.
Even on shots. And that's not necessarily something that goes to the Rough Riders' advantage because the Titans
are lots of size and weight.
Correct.
OG's going to play a power game, and we're going to try to play a speed game. Contrasting styles.
And Hesse with a pull-up over the top of the 6'1" junior Kaufman.
It's a very tough shot.
Both Rabel and Hesse off to good starts. As we said in the pregame, they both struggled scoring the last several games. So great sign for the Riders to get those two seniors on the board early.
I don't know about that call right there.
Again, some of the things that they've let go and then called that. Have to give Reese Rabel credit for diving down,
helping,
trying to help out.
You got to help the bigs.
Kaufman is a really big girl inside, and
you got to punish them for putting the ball on the floor on the post. Can't make that easy. A lot of people can score in the post if they have unlimited dribbles.
Again, Kimmett and Kaufman, your 5'10", 6'1" combo. I don't want to say they're twin towers, but that's a pretty big front line. Grodhouse misses again. And Morgan Hesse, Coach Burke's not happy about that.
Happy. The last time somebody reached in and they got a foul, that time a jump ball.
And Morgan Hesse did a nice job of grabbing the rebound, just didn't get those elbows out quite enough.
The Riders are one of the smallest teams in the Western Buckeye League, and when Morgan Hesse goes out, they really get small. They have 5 girls who basically are all guard-sized. Ella Jacobs is a very undersized forward.
And it looks like back to flex again.
With Hesse out, I'd like to see the Riders run a little clock here and make the Titans play some defense.
Get to the
I'd
last,
get the last shot, make them play some defense.
Got 35 seconds left.
How about some contact there? Oh,
good. Cora Rabel did a nice job there of stepping to the pass, picking up the foul on Hasselman.
Yeah, if she doesn't go towards that pass and just kind of waits for it, that's the other way.
Yep.
And it's probably a layup.
Nuss open for the 3. And we'll see if the Riders can hold on the last 13 seconds to go.
Good job, Ella Jacobs.
Ella Jacobs picks up the steal. Hopefully the Riders are aware of how much time is left on the clock.
Ashley Nuss does not know how much time's on the clock.
No.
Neither did Caden.
Yeah.
And with a very exciting start to the game, the Rough Riders have a 13-8 lead after 1. We will return after a word from our sponsors.
Hey Rider Nation Station fans, to watch all our events on YouTube and our live broadcast, go to youtube.com/@RiderNationStation 8477. Select the event that you want. Once you're there, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell by hitting all, and you'll get all future notifications right on your phone. Or select this QR code for all future events. Also, don't forget to go to RiderNationStation.com to see where we're at, what we're doing, and how we can help you and you can help us. Or select this QR code and save it away for future reference.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spees. Welcome to Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spees Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spees and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spees Chiropractic unique is their 3-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spees Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
And we are back as we watch on the Schaff Auto replay Morgan Hesse taking a 2 over the Giant Titans. Derek, a couple quick comments before we get started here.
Yeah, big thing is, as we get a little kickball action there, big thing is turnovers so far. 5 turnovers so far for the Titans. In the first quarter, you know, we mentioned it's key for the Riders to not turn it over too much, but obviously winning the turnover battle with their defensive intensity here in the first quarter is big for them. Of course, I think I may have jinxed that
you
right
may
there.
have jinxed them, yes.
As we turn it over quickly.
Right away. Pretty aggressive defending.
Another beating the Titans up the floor. Couldn't convert the layup, but a good job of looking up the court and beating the larger
nice
Titans
full court
down the
pass
floor.
there. And Katie Kaufman grabs the rebound and just muscles that one back in for the Titans to bring the score to 13-10. She's averaging 9 points a game, just over 9 points a game. Pretty extended pass. Riders are probably pretty lucky. And there's Ella Jacobs for a Fowler TV 3-pointer. Good to see Ella pumping it up from the outside. Obviously, the Riders are going to have to talk about boxing out Katie Kaufman inside.
She's big and she's long.
And she can go right straight up over you,
yeah,
and not get a foul called.
Got to try to get into her legs and move her out a little bit. It's not an easy task. She's a big girl.
And showed some real agility on that drive. Good footwork and a nice little runner for the junior.
Titans are look like they've Troy Yant may have talked to him about trying to get some shots a little closer to the basket. Instead of attempting as many threes, looks like they're trying to use their size advantage a little more here in the second quarter and get it inside.
Maybe a little more, talking about patience, maybe.
Yeah. That was a push off.
Yeah.
No call.
Kaylin Grothaus probably got away with a little elbow there.
Get her.
Morgan Hesse assuming a little bit of ball handling responsibilities for the Riders. And that's not all a bad thing to do, especially when you have a big guard in you. And Reese Rabel misfires from 3, but Reagan Allmeyer scrapping for the offensive board to maintain the possession for the blue and gold.
Nice move, Cora Rabel. Nice little hesitation.
Little fake there.
Fake hesitation.
Dare we say?
Using her body to kind of back her down, create some space.
Ashley Nuss, I think, picks up the 2. Titans are doing a pretty nice job of getting into the teeth of the Rider 2-3 zone. They're not afraid to attack those seams. Riders will have to make
I'd like to see the Riders bring the zone in a little tighter. Although as soon as I say that, the Titans drill a 3. I would feel more comfortable with them shooting 3s and giving up a few less paint touches.
Hasselman is a 5'4" senior for the Titans. And the Riders turn it over, but I think they're going to get it right back to the Riders. We talked in the quarter break about turnovers, and this happened. Got to think what game it was against Wapak, the last home game against Wapak, which, boy, that seems like a long time ago. December 15th, since we were here last we were here for the girls, but getting a little sloppy at times during the game, and it's something that they really have to work on. I don't know if it's maintaining mentality of valuing possessions or just focusing on ball handling.
I think some of it here, OG's getting really extended into passing lanes. There need to be some either screen set or some back doors because they're just really out extended, like right there. Lily Hasselman is out into the lane.
And the Titans doing a little bit of run and gun on their own. And Kaylin Grothaus finishes on the layup to bring the Titans within 1 on the American Legion scoreboard. Defensively, the Titans are doing something that the Riders haven't seen in a while. They're not switching on their ball screens. They're staying with their men, and again, it's a matter of adjusting to what the defense is giving us. But another turnover by the Riders against that Titan pressure.
Coach Burke wisely quickly gets Hesse and Cora Rabel back in. They need Hesse's size and they need Cora's ball handling stability out there almost at all times. I hate to rest them very much at all against the Titans.
One of those that Coach Brown used to tell them, you can't get tired.
Certain people can't get tired. Austin Parks is not allowed to get tired for the boys.
And Reagan Allmeyer with a shout out to Liz Krug back in the day with that one-handed baseball pass up court to hit Cora Rabel. Blast from the past.
Liz Krug might be listening to Minster, Ohio right now in her garage with her husband Sam.
And Emma Brinkman comes in with 3 for the Titans to tie up the game for the first time. Brinkman normally does not do a ton of scoring. She comes in averaging only 4 points a game for the Titans, and so is that somebody that you say, hey, we're willing to sacrifice this, give her shots?
Normally you would say, go ahead and take that 3-point shot.
Right.
We'd rather have that than a shot in the paint.
Now she is, to her credit, she is shooting 44% from 3. So maybe that's her. She just doesn't take a ton of them.
She got bumped. And a reach in. He got the second one. It's not going to be any one-on-ones the way they're calling fouls.
Morgan Hussey with a really slick pass back to the inbounder. Oh, and Morgan Hussey, a little hesitation before she went up, just enough to get Kaufman in the air and pick up the foul.
Would be big if we could get Kaufman in a little bit of foul trouble.
At the rate that
Get rid
they're
of her
calling
length.
things, it's probably not going to happen. High arching, nothing but net for Morgan Hussey. Comes in not shooting well from the free throw line, although that one was straight on. Good roll, but did not get the second one. Ashley Nuss almost had a little flip from behind. And right there to scoop up that Erford miss again is Kaufman on the boards, and obviously that's something that Coach Burke's going to have to talk about at halftime. And the Titans, if you look on the American Legion scoreboard, take the lead for the first time in the game. And Morgan Hussey says that's not going to last long. Yes.
I'll get you on the move and take you to the hole.
Good help down by Ella Jacobs. Caitlin Kim, again, 5'10". She's got good size inside. The Riders are going to have to do a better job of doubling down.
Cora Rabel got a frustration foul there. Upset about missing the shot and reaches in. It's her first foul.
And with 1:40 left on the clock, the Titans have just a 1-point lead, so things have been tight. Hopefully the Riders can get to halftime without having the Titans go on any run here. Not sure Chloe Glenn left the lane there at all, but it was just enough to tip it back out for the Titans to get that late clock three. Fairly sure that Cora probably could have gotten a foul on that one. And
Titan size is really starting to wear
Yep.
on the Riders and late here in the second quarter, really hurting us on the boards.
And Chloe Glenn, give her credit, hustled down the court in a semi-fast break there for the Titans to get that rebound. And we've seen a couple times during the game where the Titans have given the Riders a little taste of their own medicine, pushing the ball up the court and getting a fast break. Glenn cashes in on 2. Again, averaging about 9 points a game. And just talked a couple minutes ago about making sure the Riders don't give up a run here at the end of the half, and suddenly you look at the clock and it's a 29-23 So it's really important for the Riders to get a bucket here, get to halftime without giving the ball back.
I would definitely get the last shot.
Yeah, without giving the ball back to.
Don't let them go down and get another 2 or 3 and
right.
get in a real hole. They played a very nice first half.
Right.
Let's go in there down 4 or 6.
And you see on that play, if you mark that one, guys, that the Titans are really overplaying those entry passes. They're getting very, very aggressive. As the clock wears down.
10 seconds left. You got the ball where you want it. Cora Rabel's hands. Let her create.
Nice pass.
There you go.
Good
there you
hands
go.
by
Good
Morgan
execution.
Hesse.
Good way to end the first half.
And as we head into the locker rooms, the Riders close the gap a little bit there right at the buzzer. Titans have a 29-25 lead. We will return with some halftime stats after a word from our sponsors.
Laura Yelton State Farm, servicing the St. Marys area since 1989. With your life, home, and auto insurance needs. Call or stop in today and see Laura or Logan Yelton for a free quote. Go Rough Riders!
Tap House at the Square invites you to join us after the game. Located in St. Mary's Square Business Complex, the Tap House is the new place to meet old friends. Best of luck to all Rider athletes and teams. Cheers to a healthy and successful season with lots of wins. See you at the Tap House at the Square.
The Friends of the St. Mary's Theater need your financial help. Any donation is welcome, and suggested donations, which can be pledged, are $200, $1,823, $2,023 and beyond. Send check to Friends of SM Theater, P.O. Box 382, St. Mary's, Ohio, or visit Graham Opera House Live to make an online payment to the 501c3. The time is now to make this happen. See more on our Facebook page at Graham Opera House Live.
Do you find yourself faced with injustice or confronted with a legal matter that you need help resolving? If so, call attorney David Walbacher at 216-225-9181. That's attorney David Walbacher for all your legal needs.
Girls basketball action, WBL style. St. Mary's versus Ottawa Glandorf. The Titans have a 29-25 lead. Derek, let's hit us with some stats.
Lady Riders scoring 25 points on the half. Were led by Morgan Hesse with 9 points, followed by Cora Rabel with 6, Ella Jacobs with 5, Reese Rabel with 3, and Ashley Nuss with 2. St. Mary's shot 11 of 24 from the field for about 46%, 2 of 7 from the three-point line for 29%, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Only turned it over 6 times, really doing pretty well there. Though they did get out-rebounded 15-10 and gave up 6 offensive boards. We kind of talked about that with Katie Kaufman really being the main culprit for that. She had 3 of their offensive rebounds. So definitely something they'll have to clean up there in the second half. OG scoring 29 points in the first half, led by Kaylin Grodhouse with 9, Katie Kaufman with 6, Caitlin Komet with 4, Lily Hasselman with 3, Emma Brinkman also with 3, and then Chloe Glenn and Mike Aldrich both with 2. OG was 12 of 27 from the field for 44%, 3 of 8 from the three-point line for 38%, 2 of 2 from the line. And kind of how we talked about in the first quarter, St. Mary's really forcing some turnovers in the first half, or in the first quarter, didn't do so in the second quarter. There were 5 in the first quarter and then only 1 in the second quarter for 6 total in that first half. And like I mentioned earlier, 6 offensive rebounds for OG. That's kind of the difference as I see things so far here in the first half. St. Mary's shot a better percentage in most respects, but just getting those extra possessions really killed the Riders.
I thought in the last 5 or 6 minutes, the Riders looked a little fatigued. We're not a very deep team, and I thought it showed up on the boards. And we also didn't push the ball as well as we did in the first quarter and try to get some layups. So I think the lack of depth has hurt us a little bit.
I'm looking at the OG stats, season stats, and one thing that's really jumping out at me, Katie Kaufman has 31 offensive rebounds on the season. That averages up to just over
in 11 games.
Just over 3 a game.
3 a game, right? And that's a lot of offensive boards per game. Obviously, Coach Burke has to talk about that right now in the locker room. Really doing a pretty nice job defensively in a lot of areas, but boy, they've got to make sure that they get a body into her and get her out away from the basket, because she is tall. She can go straight up over the top of people and not get a foul called on her.
I mean, when you're not big, everybody's got to help. All 5 people need to come in there and help and scrap and fight and do whatever they can to try to dig those balls out on rebounds.
Again, something that our boys have even struggled with, and our boys are gigantic and have given up some offensive boards to other teams. Now, what we're gonna look at right now on our yet unnamed telestrator board is something that's happened here in the last couple of minutes. The Titan defense has gotten very, very aggressive, extended out far into the passing lanes and denying the Rough Rider passes. And I think Derek's going to show us a possession where they get out far into the lane, and if they get the steal, creates a very, very easy layup. We'll see if we can pull this off.
Yeah, so this is new for us. First time we're working with the new tech, so bear with us here. But first thing we can see is number 24, Micah Aldrich, already is denying this passing lane right here. She is right here in the passing lane. That's denied. Reese Rabel is completely denied. So that pass is not a possibility. I think as the play scans over here, we'll see what we're looking for right there. So the OG Titan defender on Reagan Allmeyer here, again, completely in this lane, and she just tips it out of bounds, as you'll see here. But the main thing is that the Riders aren't creating a lot of space. So if we can go slow-mo here, as we see Reagan Allmeyer cut from the baseline, no screen is set, so the defender is right here, close proximity to Reagan Allmeyer, and as the play progresses, she has no fear of the back door, no fear of either a back screen. Sometimes when a team is overplaying, you can bring somebody from the backside, set a little back screen here, and Reagan Allmeyer cuts to the rim. You can do either, but OG is really far in those passing lanes, and the Riders really haven't adjusted very well, and has resulted in a lot of tips and a lot of steals.
Yeah, so
that may be something Coach Burke's talking about in halftime is how are we going to counter these hard denials out on the wings? What can we do to combat that? Can we back cut? Can we set a pick? Maybe Cora Rabel needs to go one-on-one and attack the basket. If they're denying those wings that far, it opens up space in the middle for Cora Rabel to drive.
Right, because they're not just denying the next pass. They're oftentimes in the lane on skips too. So that means everybody's extended away from the rim. So if you can beat your man out front, it usually means one-on-one. So easy scoring opportunity.
Yep, hugging all over the court means nobody's helping. And that means that you've got to put the ball on the floor and take it to the basket. Now, one thing that we gave a couple of turnovers to, we got in there and started trying to do some spin moves, turn our back, and allowed them to dive down and help. Again, facing up, taking the ball to the basket, and creating some offense just by being aggressive and punishing them for their aggressive lane running. So we've got about a minute left in the clock. We'll take one more quick break, and then we'll be back for the second half.
Albert Sporting Goods is here to outfit your team, both on and off the field. Since 1980, Albert Sporting Goods has serviced schools, clubs, and businesses throughout Ohio. For all of your uniform, spirit wear, and equipment needs, make it Albert Sporting Goods. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
St. Mary's Legion Post 323, veterans working for veterans and the future of our country. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 supports veterans programs such as Gifts for Yanks, Support the Troops, Comfort Warriors, Blood Donor, POW MIA programs, as well as children and youth programs. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 also donates thousands of dollars each year to local summer programs such as Boys State, Girls State, scholarships in education, Boy Scouts, oratorical, and shooting sports. St. Mary's Legion Post 323, remembering the past, living the present, and working for the future.
And we are back at Grand Lake Health Systems Court, ready for second half action between the OG Titans and the St. Mary's Rough Riders. 4-point game. Things are still anybody's game. And boy, right there, we just had an example of what we did on the telestrator as Lily Hasselman just got in the passing lane and tipped that ball.
Really like to see the Rough Riders set some picks to help people get open, both in wing entries and in out-of-bounds plays. A little more contact to make space for people to catch the ball.
And Kaylin Girdhouse with a quick steal, and I'm seeing probably a timeout from, yes, and a quick timeout from Coach Burke. Looks like it'll be the 30-second variety, so we'll stay here. But, guys, we talked about turnovers there at halftime, and it came out, reared its ugly head.
Extending the pressure, being physical, getting in the passing lanes.
And those were kind of lack of attention to detail, lack of focus turnovers. It wasn't that they necessarily made great defensive plays, but you got to make crisp passes. You got to be strong with the ball, especially against a team like OG that likes to be very aggressive defensively, that gets a lot of steals, and definitely not the way they wanted to start the half, especially with gaining possession. You'd like to see a nice possession, get a good shot, but obviously that didn't happen.
I think the Lady Riders need to be really careful right here. They have, throughout the season, struggled to score a lot of points. So an 8-point deficit for a team that struggles to score is substantial. They need to make a little bit of a counterpunch here and stay in contact with the Titans. They can't afford to get down double digits, I don't think, and have a chance to win this game.
And got to give a shout out to Katie Kaufman for following that missed layup down there. Got yet another offensive board to put back.
Beat the Riders down the floor.
Yep. That's just a hustle play. Riders back into the flex, and again, turn back in traffic to turn it over.
Great hustle play by Cora Rabel.
And I'm sure that Coach Burke is not happy with having, 4 consecutive possessions of turnovers. But
Katie Kaufman has made a couple of great hustle plays to get a couple offensive opportunities.
If you look at her stat line, this place right here is probably her weakest part of her game. Only shooting 51% from the free throw line, so not necessarily a bad person to foul. But boy, the Riders got to get the ball over half court and get a shot up. And Carson Erford almost got yet another offensive board for the Titans on that possession. So yeah, the Riders a little out of sorts here offensively. And yes, another turnover. And Lily Hasselman cashes in on another layup. Boy, this is not the start that the Riders were hoping for coming out of halftime.
Riders are having trouble getting open.
And finally get a shot off. And Morgan Hesse gives the Titans a little taste of their own medicine, getting an offensive board and picks up the foul against Katie Kaufman.
Kind of saw what the Riders need to do there. You know, OG's defense is extended way out to half court. You know, you need to get closer to the rim, back cut, and take advantage of it there. But they haven't been able to handle the ball long enough to do that so far.
And Hesse misses the first. The 5'11" senior will take a shot at the second free throw.
Morgan's kind of shaking her head a little bit. I think she's trying to shake off couple cobwebs. She got hit in the head a little bit on that shot.
Definitely has some cobwebs on that one, and Morgan is the leading scorer for the Riders, so they definitely need her to get on track here in the second half to close this 10-point gap on the American Legion scoreboard. Titans doing a nice job of ball movement. And Reagan Ellmeyer tracks down a rebound for the blue and gold. The royal blue and gold.
Riders need to get a basket in the worst way.
And there you have another example of somebody running the passing lane. Chloe Glenn got her hand, correct hand, good form on the denial.
Personal foul number 24, Rebel, for second.
And taking the ball length of the court to pick up the foul. And the senior Glenn will try to pick up a couple free throws here. Comes in shooting 65% from the free throw line, averaging 9 points a game. And as we said, she's doesn't have as many games under her belt as the rest of the Titans do. And misses both. Luckily, Cora jumped in there to grab that defensive board.
What a nice luxury for the Titans that they have Chloe Glenn to bring in off the bench.
Sure.
They can sit and rest Katie Kaufman and bring in another 6-foot girl.
And the Riders have gone the first 3 minutes without a score here in this half.
Haven't gotten very many attempts.
Right.
Having trouble even getting shots off.
Reagan Allmeyer amongst the trees and got Ella Jacobs hustling back to get that strip block.
And big shot.
There we go. Big shot by Reagan Allmeyer, a Fowler TV 3-pointer. That was huge for the Riders.
Hopefully that offensive possession can maybe spark a little defensive intensity here for the Riders. They
we're not
kind of
turning
need to pick it up.
We haven't turned the OG over very much since that first quarter.
And a miss that goes out of bounds, and the Riders are kind of lucky there that did go out of bounds because I
think that was another offensive rebound.
Yes,
right
the
there.
Titans had wormed their way into the. And Chloe Glenn, again, running passing lanes. We talked about that at the break, denying lanes.
The Riders are making a lot of long passes. They needed to take a couple more dribbles, shorten the passing lane a little bit. Long passes get picked off.
We got 7 turnovers already here in the third quarter.
Ouch. And really, only 7 points down. They should count themselves fairly lucky at this point.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse.
Yep. Good rotation. And Reagan Allmeyer missing the 3, and Cora Rabel ends up picking up the foul there, but that was kind of an aggressive going for a rebound foul.
It's Cora's third.
Hopefully she can stay out of foul trouble, because she is the right.
He may sub her out a little bit. I don't think he'll leave her on the bench very long. Down 7, we need Cora on the court as much as possible.
Correct.
Our ball handling's been shaky enough with her.
And Hasselman drills a 3 on the Fowler TV 3-pointer. Definitely not something that the Riders need. And they'd gotten a few stops, so had kind of stopped the scoring of the Titans for just a few minutes, but that was kind of an unfortunate hit for them.
We've had several back doors that were open, but we've failed to execute the passes properly. But it's a good idea. We need to go back door and punish them for denying all over the court.
If you notice, they're doing a little more switching on screens than they did in the first half. And that's obviously something that they talked about at halftime. Morgan Hesse gets to step to the line. Hopefully this is not in her head as she...
Hopefully the cobwebs are gone,
yeah.
or whatever caused that air ball.
Yeah. There we go. She's got that shaking her head as soon as she shoots thing right now, which
she doesn't want to be at the line right now.
Kind of a lack of
struggling.
Confidence. And it's nothing but net for the senior to get into double figures for the first time tonight. Hit her game average right now. Everything else will be playing with house money. Wow, Kaufman just literally went right over the top of Morgan Hesse and kind of tipped it to herself for another offensive board.
Yeah, Morgan's got to make contact with Kaufman and try to move her out. If it turns into a jumping and reaching contest, Morgan Hesse's going to lose that every single time. She's got to get into her body and root her out of the post.
And the Riders had a nice trap set up, but just didn't get the turnover. And the Titans just doing a nice job of
destroying us on the boards.
Right. Kim finishes with the bucket, but everybody got their hands on that one.
Titans have out-hustled us and out-scrapped us.
Yeah.
Both in passing lanes and on the boards.
Right.
This entire second half, the result is what you see on the scoreboard. The Riders are quickly losing touch.
And a lot of, basically you got two things, offensive boards and turnovers. And right there goes into yet another turnover because we lost possession on the jump ball. And that
dribbling left and tried to use her right hand. Just brought it right back to her. It's an easy steal.
Yep.
Riders have been very sloppy in the second half.
I think Coach Yant was hoping for a
Push.
foul on that, pushing Kaufman, forcing her out of bounds. I think he didn't think that she was going there on her own. Coach Yant, an 11-year veteran coach for the Titans. Spent some time coaching their freshman boys before he shifted over to the girls program. Riders have kind of tried to do some backing down amongst traffic, and that's not necessarily a good way of breaking down the defense.
Especially against pressure. It just means there are a lot of hands in there that can reach
right.
And strip the ball from you.
Might be too late to mark that one, but
It's been a real struggle this half for the Riders just to get off a quality shot.
and that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to do some dribble penetration. They're way out of sorts right now. And if you looked at where we're trying to operate, we're way too far away from the basket. Titans are doing it. They're doing a nice job. They're aggressive. They're
aggressive, physical,
forcing us out away from the basket. Yeah, good help inside. And Hasselman aggressively forcing it at the Riders. And Emma Brinkman hits a 3 on the Fowler TV three-pointer. Nice move.
Nice post move by Ella Jacobs. Nice patience.
Took her time.
Pivoted, fake several times. That's travel in any league.
Yep. Caitlin turns the ball over to the Riders. And if the Riders can come down and get a score here in the last 27 seconds, they can
try to keep it around the 10-point mark.
Keep it in touch. Good read. Cora Rabel didn't get the foul that she probably deserved. And wow,
he called that an offensive foul. Holy moly!
Offensive foul, and if we could see a replay on that.
That was a terrible call. Jiminy Christmas.
I think that Cora probably got fouled on the initial shot, got the ball back, and then probably got fouled again on that.
The bad thing is that's Cora's fourth.
Yes.
We're struggling to handle the ball with Cora. Without her, it's tough.
And Kemet turns it over, so the Titans don't get a late quarter score out of that, but still go into the fourth quarter with a 45-31 lead. We will be back after a word from our sponsors.
Providing insurance services since 1953, the R.J. Burke Insurance Agency is here to help with your home, auto, business, and life insurance needs. Being an independent insurance agency representing many fine companies and located at 121 North Wayne Street in St. Marys, contact Joe Burke or Dan Burke for a no-obligation quote today.
Did you know teen drivers represent the highest risk age group involved in automobile accidents? Because of this, an in-person teen driver education program is extremely important, and Capabilities Driving School is here to help. Capabilities now administers the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicle Driving Test for our students and the general public to obtain their driving licenses. Call us today at 419-394-0003, extension 1300, to enroll and learn more about Capabilities Driving School services.
And we're back at Grand Lake Health Systems Court, ready for fourth quarter action. Derek, give us a little rundown of some third quarter stats.
Ottawa Glandorf outscored the Lady Riders 16-6, kind of on the backs of two things, offensive rebounds and turnovers. So they got another 4 offensive rebounds in that third quarter and turned the Riders over 10 times in the third quarter. So obviously 2 disastrous stats for the Riders, something you really can't sustain against a good team like OG.
And you have to look at the pace of the Titan offense. They're getting turnovers and pushing it right back at the Riders. A good fast-paced team with size. And once again another turnover by the Riders to start the half, or the fourth quarter, excuse me.
He's going to have to get Cora Rabel in pretty quick, even with 4 fouls. It's a 14-point deficit. If they're going to make a run, they're going to have to do it immediately.
Right.
Time's of the essence, down 14.
Especially when you've only scored 31 points. You know, that's half your scoring so far.
Nice head fake.
Nice head fake, Reese. That's a good way to start. We got to make a run here. We need to crank off a 6-7-0 run and get back in this game.
The sophomore drills a Fowler TV 3-pointer for the Riders. But, boy, got to give Hasselman credit. She's been aggressive, taking the ball to the basket, scoring her 12th point for the night.
That was a really nice take. It was quick and used the floater really well.
And she's averaging only 3 points a game, so she's well above her average. As we said, they are really pushing the pace. And for once.
Hey, an over the back call.
Yeah, for once.
How about that?
The Riders box out well enough to pick up the foul. So
yeah, to be fair, I don't think a whole lot of it is officiating. I think it's the Riders not boxing out. You know,
right.
You're not going to get any over the back calls if you're not putting your butt into somebody and creating space for yourself.
And Cora Rabel, as we predicted, is back in the game. 6 minutes to go, 4 fouls.
The game's now. We got to get back in the game quickly to have a chance.
The game is now. Good hesitation move by Reese Rabel.
Riders will be in the bonus on the next foul. That could help if the officials call some fouls.
And Brinkman, the senior, picks up a foul.
Be nice to get some points with the clock stopped.
Ella Jacobs feeling it from downtown.
Hopefully that can be a big spark for the Lady Riders. Maybe get some
back within 10.
Good defensive possessions here.
That's a double dribble.
That's
a double dribble, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
official looked at it, didn't see anything wrong with it.
And the Riders now within 12. Again, it's not out of reach. They're going to have to get some scores and some stops. Yeah. Little drive with the
floater.
Ella Jacobs.
Ella Jacobs giving a nice boost on the scoring column.
Suddenly taking a little offensive control. Ella gets into double digits on the scoreboard. Grodehouse fires from deep, and the Riders get a rebound. And again, a little spark for the Riders. See if they can get another score and another stop. And another runner.
There we go. Timeout, Troy Yant. We've seen enough.
Morgan Hesse with a nice one-footed runner there to bring the Riders within 8. I think we have a full timeout, so we will take a quick break and come back after a word from our sponsors.
At Chef Auto Sales in St. Mary's, we don't play any of those pricing games. Our quality vehicles are priced at or below market value, and our no-pressure friendly staff is here to help you. So before you buy, give us a try. Come see me, Aaron Hyde, the car guy at Chef Auto Sales.
Mark your calendars for Memorial High School's performance of Anastasia, the musical, March 31st to April 1st. Inspired by the 20th century Fox motion picture, this dazzling show transports its audience from the Russian Empire to 1920s Paris. As a brave young woman enlists the help of a charismatic ensemble cast to reconnect with her past in search of home, love, and family. Follow the St. Mary's Memorial High School Drama Club on Facebook for more information.
And with just under 5 minutes left on the clock, suddenly the Riders have made a little run at the OG Titans. Scores 49-41. Really, the Riders kind of on the back of Ella Jacobs. Couple nice drives and nice three-pointer, and suddenly again down 8. Got a couple of stops.
Yep, Ellis sparked him, gave him a little bit of confidence. They're getting a little more aggressive offensively. That's good.
And the Riders now into a 2-2-1. Did not get the steal, but maybe make things a little more uncomfortable for the Titans. Kaufman with a really nice flash across the middle, and more importantly, Lily Hasselman, she delivered that beautiful bounce pass to the middle.
Nice,
that was nice. A lot of players don't look to feed from the top; they only feed from the wings, and so that was good court awareness from her. Cora with a nice little hesitation there for another Fowler TV three-pointer.
Riders pull within 7. Get aboard. Dang it.
Nice help by Ella Jacobs, but again, rotated over enough, did not get an offensive or a defensive board for the Riders. Ella Jacobs getting her hand on a nice dive down there to help defensively at the much outsized Reese Rabel. And here on the Schaff Auto replay, we see the nice three-pointer by Cora Rabel. And the Erford miss.
Titan ball in the possession.
Bounce long. That's one of those where three-pointers do often bounce long.
You can still help yourself by creating a little space, pushing them back a little bit.
Correct. Erford not as quick to let that one fly. I'm assuming that Coach Ian has talked about getting the ball inside, taking advantage of their size. And Kemet misses, and suddenly the Riders are attacking, but boy, kudos to the Titans. They did hustle to get back. And
you can tell Troy Yant really got on them after the first quarter. We really beat them down the court in the first quarter for numerous easy shots. They've done a much better job since recovering on defense.
They've been the aggressor. And Cora Rabel not getting the calls that she probably has deserved on some of her drives. The charge foul in the third quarter, that easily could have been a foul then, and then this last possession here. And Glenn misses the post move, and Cora was diving down there to help, and Reese Rabel it's a turnover there, just a little.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah, just a little casual with the ball. And Chloe Glenn hustles down to get the bucket for the Titans. And suddenly it's another 9-point game. Morgan Hesse doing a nice job of driving. We'll see how she does with the free throws. It's like feast or famine with Morgan right now.
Her first, team 7. Morgan Hesse, line shooting 2.
Riders definitely need these two. They got to keep things within reach. There she goes. Again, the makes have been nothing but net.
Her free throws have all been air.
Yeah.
Hasn't hit much rim.
One way or another.
One way or another, it's been air. That's good air right there.
And that's good air again. And Hesse goes to 13 points.
Riders again close within 7. You're a three-pointer and a three-pointer and a turnover away from a one-possession game.
Coach Burke doing some offense, defense.
You obviously have to get some stops down the stretch. Here, Morgan almost with a steal. Nuss almost with a steal.
I think there may have been a little switch pivot feed by Kaylin Komet there.
Great read by Hesse. Titans have survived several poor passes.
And probably what I would have considered a quick shot by Katie Kaufman.
That's a terrible shot. You're up 7 with 2 minutes to go, and you're going to have your post player shoot an 18-footer. The Riders will take that every time.
That's a win.
Yeah,
that's a win.
That was a gift from Ottawa.
And a little step through by Ella Jacobs.
With a floater. Step through with a floater.
Yep,
it's almost like she's been working on it.
I
think she's been working on that move. Ella's having her best game this season by far.
And
giving the Riders a much-needed offensive spark.
Suddenly the Riders are within 5. Time is now an issue.
They're within 5, but they need to be out.
Yeah, they're going to have
either fouling or in passing lanes a little more than they are right now.
Ashley Nuss.
Several of the Titan bigs have looked very weak from the free throw line. I wouldn't be afraid to give them a foul now.
Yep. Ashley Nuss
foul some of the bad free throw shooters, the 2 bigs. Make them hit free throws.
And finally, the Riders get the clock stopped. And the person of choice, Kaylin Grothaus, but only five fouls. So the Riders are going to have to be aggressive, which
don't get an instant steal, foul right away.
Grothaus is not the person they need to foul at 87%.
That's why she's holding on to the ball.
And Coach Yant did not like the look of that, so he called a quick 30-second. We will stay here with 54 seconds left on the clock. So, guys, what's got to happen here?
Well, they either, whether it's man-to-man or throwing in some traps, they need to be in passing lanes a little more. And if you gamble, you gamble, but time's your enemy here. You know, there's only 54 seconds left. If you're not getting a steal pretty quickly, you got to foul. So, yeah, they need to be really aggressive in passing lanes and try to turn over the Titans. Either that or foul somebody who you know is a bad free throw shooter.
Hopefully, Coach Burke has a pretty good handle on who can shoot free throws and who can't. I know just from looking at the stats that Grothaus is the person you want to avoid at all costs. Others, you know, we've witnessed a few misses by Kaufman already.
He subbed out Kaufman.
So smart move.
Yeah, he doesn't want her shooting free throws.
Oh, there it is.
Huge steal by Allmeyer.
Oh, little pickpocket there. Reagan Allmeyer's going to
she's going to see that in her nightmares.
Lament that one all evening, I'm sure.
She'll wake up at 3 a.m. and see that left-handed layup. Great steal by Reagan.
Good pickpocket. Right out front.
Boy, that's a shame we didn't get that. That would have really put some pressure on this possession for Ottawa. It would suddenly have been a one-possession game.
And the Riders need to pick up a little higher. And Morgan Hesse is
now that group foul.
Go after her. It's hard to unless you really drill it, convince players to back off of people when you're in this trapping situation here. You have to be aggressive and you have to get up on them. You can't sit back and protect the paint at all. Everything has to be denied.
It's do or die. You know, you're teaching them to gamble, and if you get beat backdoor, so be it.
Caitlin Kemet is a 63% free throw shooter, so I wouldn't say, a terrible person to foul, but calmly steps up and drills that one, showing a little poise for a sophomore. And suddenly a 6-point lead, with time being an issue right now for the Riders with only 20 seconds to go. Head fake, sidestep there for Reese, but doesn't connect. And it looks like the Titans are going to be able to escape with at least a 6-point win here for the WBL showdown. And as we run out of time, the Titans finish up with a 54 to 48 point win. We will return after a word from our sponsors with a post-game wrap-up.
Colder weather is just around the corner, and you want to make sure your family's vehicle is tuned up and ready to go. Rabel's Auto Service has been voted the best auto repair center in St. Marys the last 3 years. And did you know they will pick up and deliver your vehicle for free? Give Rabel's Auto Service a call at 419-394-1624 or stop in and see Jeremy at 1610 Salina Road in St. Marys. Rabel's Auto Service in St. Marys. Give them a call today.
Hey Rider Nation Station fans, to watch all our events on YouTube and our live broadcast, go to youtube.com/@RiderNationStation 8477. Select the event that you want. Once you're there, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell by hitting all, and you'll get all future notifications right on your phone. Or select this QR code for all future events. Also, don't forget to go to RiderNationStation.com to see where we're at, what we're doing, and how we can help you and you can help us. Or select this QR code and save it away for future reference.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spees. Welcome to Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spees Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spees and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spees Chiropractic unique is their 3-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spees Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
Laura Yelton State Farm, servicing the St. Marys area since 1989. With your life, home, and auto insurance needs. Call or stop in today and see Laura or Logan Yelton for a free quote. Go Rough Riders!
Tap House at the Square invites you to join us after the game. Located in St. Mary's Square Business Complex, the Tap House is the new place to meet old friends. Best of luck to all Rider athletes and teams. Cheers to a healthy and successful season with lots of wins. See you at the Tap House at the Square.
The Friends of the St. Mary's Theater need your financial help. Any donation is welcome, and suggested donations, which can be pledged, are $200, $1,823, $2,023 and beyond. Send check to Friends of SM Theater, P.O. Box 382, St. Marys, Ohio, or visit Graham Opera House Live to make an online payment to the 501c3. The time is now to make this happen. See more on our Facebook page at Graham Opera House Live.
Do you find yourself faced with injustice or confronted with a legal matter that you need help resolving? If so, call attorney David Walbacher at 216-225-9181. That's attorney David Walbacher for all your legal needs.
And we're back for the post-game wrap-up. The OG Titans pull through with a 55. We kind of had a little scoring mess on the scoreboard. 55-48 victory over the St. Mary's Rough Riders. Derek, let's give us a little rundown of the stats before we talk things over here.
Yeah, Lady Riders, after scoring 48 points, led by the tandem of Ella Jacobs and Morgan Hesse, both with 14 points, followed by Cora Rabel with 9, Reese Rabel with 6, Reagan Allmeyer 3, and Ashley Nuss rounding out the Riders, scoring with 2. The Riders were 19 of 41 from the field for 46%, pretty good there. 6 of 14 from 3 for 43%, really good there. 4 of 8 from 3, or from the free throw line, kind of a place the Riders have struggled all year, and that kind of continued tonight. Turned it over 18 times, did a nice job in the first half, but then there in the second half really struggled with it. And then another point where they really struggled, it was in the rebounding battle. They got out-rebounded 28-18 and gave up 12 offensive rebounds. The Lady Titans, with their 55 total points, led by Katie Kaufman with 14, Lily Hasselman with 12, followed by Kaylin Groothouse with 9, Caitlin Komet with 8, Emma Brinkman with 6, Chloe Glenn with 4, and Mike Aldrich with 2. OG shot 23 of 51 from the field for 45%, 5 of 15 from 3 for 33%, 4 of 8 from the line, and like I mentioned before, 28 rebounds, 12 offensive rebounds. Katie Kaufman herself had 7 rebounds on the game, 6 offensive, so just absolutely killed us down there. And, you know, don't want to act like I'm clairvoyant here or anything, but, you know, came down to turnovers and offensive rebounds. We talked about before the game, and out-rebounded us, and we turned it over 18 times. OG had 12 steals. Lily Hasselman with 4 steals just herself. So came down to turnovers and rebounding. Really everything else the Riders played pretty well. They shot it pretty well, but just couldn't hold on to possessions quite enough.
And the turnovers and rebounding problems really compounded themselves about the last 2 or 3 minutes of the first half, the first 5 or 6 minutes of the third quarter. That little span in there, they just destroyed us on the boards, turned us over, rattled us. I thought that's when the game was decided, the end of the first half and the beginning of the third quarter.
Well, in the second and third quarter, OG outscored us 37-18
right
in those 2 quarters. And, you know, the first and fourth quarters, the Riders outplayed them for sure and outscored them. But that middle part of the game, they really kind of fell into a funk, and kind of some old bad habits caught up with them.
Well, and those 2 things, turnovers and offensive boards, result in easy shots.
Yeah.
If you look at shot quality, you can't get any better than a point-blank putback or a layup off of a steal. Yeah, those are easy buckets to make. We don't miss. Most people don't miss those too often, and so that leads to.
They're tough to defend because oftentimes you're not even set up to play defense. You know, you're playing offense and suddenly they're at the other end off of a turnover, or, you know, you're trying to box out or get ready to play offense, and suddenly they're getting the offensive rebound and a putback. So it's
on a positive note. 48 points is the most points that the Riders have scored since back on December 3rd against New Knoxville. And
that's against a quality defensive team.
And this is against a quality defensive team.
That's a good sign for the Riders.
A big and athletic team. So, yeah, I'd say that, no, your Coach Burke is not happy with a loss, but there are some positives that he can take away from this game tonight. Well,
with the win, Titans go to 10-2 on the season.
Correct.
4-0 in the Western Buckeye League, so they set up atop the WBL along with Bath.
They will return to action non-league at Fort Laramie on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Riders have a week to sit and kind of go over some things and hopefully improve, turnovers, rebounding, whatever they need to work on. They will be at Van Wert next Thursday. Rider Nation Station will be back here Saturday afternoon for boys basketball action. We'll kick off the 2023 portion of the boys season home against Versailles. So we look forward to seeing everybody then.
Rider fans will want to be tuned into that. It features a big-time, big-man matchup in the paint. Of course, St. Mary's Austin Parks headed to Ohio State, and Versailles features Connor Stonebreaker, who is a Hillsdale College Division II scholarship player. So 2 20-point-a-game big men in the paint. Should be fun to watch on Saturday.
So for the J family crew up here in the booth, shout out to Ross Henshin down on the camera, Hunter Winchett up here by me. Let's see who else. We've got executive producer Rich Spencer and Doug Spencer. I guess we have to make them co-executive producers. And Logan Yelton down in the mixer as well. On behalf of everyone from Rider Nation Station, thank you all for coming this evening or for tuning in this evening. And we look forward to seeing you again on Saturday. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.